All right, guys, so we're going to talk a little bit more about subject and predicate this week, and we're going to start with just a little bit of review. So if you remember from our lessons a couple weeks ago, that a subject is the who or the what is happening in this that's going on in the sentence, like who or what is that sentence about. And the predicate is what's happening to that who or that what, that person or that thing, like what's happening to it or what is it doing. And all of these, we're going to start drawing that chop line like we've been practicing, okay? And if you have a red and a blue marker, then you can do that with me as I do it. So that chop line, remember that chop line splits the sentence into two different parts. It splits it into this part that has the subject and the part that has the predicate. And remember that the subject can have adjectives with it. It could have two different people. It could have a whole bunch of different things, right? But the bottom line is that there's no action happening in the subject. The action is all happening in the predicate. That's the predicate. It tells us what action is happening to that subject. So if I have number one was the waves looked blue. I want you to close your eyes and think about the waves looked blue. What is that sentence about? Open your eyes. What is that sentence about? Think about it. That sentence is about the waves, right? And what do we know about the waves? What were the waves doing, or what information do we have about the waves? The waves looked blue. Where do you notice our verb is? Our verb is in the predicate. That main action that is happening in the predicate, that's happening in the sentence is in the predicate. Looked is our verb. So the waves is what the sentence is about. That's the what. And then what's happening? Well, they looked blue. Okay, so our chop line would happen right between those two words, waves and looked. So on your page, your chop line is going to be right between there. And then I can see, okay, the waves is the subject of the sentence. And, I'm sorry. I just mixed up number one and number two. Miss Hardgrove. Okay, well, we'll just do that one more time. So we have the waves splashed on my feet, right? So the waves is what it's about, and splashed on my feet is what the waves did. That was the action that the waves did in that sentence, okay? So splashed is our verb. That's our main verb of the sentence, and we know that that's in the predicate, right? And the waves is the subject. That's where we have our main noun of the sentence. So, Ms. Hargrove, well, let's try that one more time. So we have the waves as our subject. Splashed on my feet is the predicate, okay? So we have the waves splashed on my feet. The waves is what the sentence was about. Splashed on my feet is what the waves did. That's what was happening in the sentence. Okay, so now we have our second one. The water looked blue. The water looked blue. I want you to close your eyes and think about the water looked blue. Now open your eyes and think, what was that sentence about? What was the subject of that sentence? The water. The water was the subject of that sentence. And what do we know about the water? What was the water doing? Well, it looked blue. It looked blue. And we've already talked about how looked is our verb in that sentence. And we have an adjective in the predicate this time. Is that okay? Yeah. We have more information about the water in the predicate. It could have also said the blue water splashed on my feet, right? We can have different subjects meaning and different predicates mixed up, okay? So on here, my chop line is going to go between the water and looked blue. It's going to go right between there. So the water is my subject. That's what that sentence is about. And what do we know about the water? It looked blue. That's what the water did. It looked blue. Okay? All right, we're going to do one more. So we have Mary and Jane are sisters. Mary and Jane are sisters. Close your eyes and think about these imaginary people, Mary and Jane, and think, what is that sentence about? Mary and Jane are sisters. Who or what is that subject about? Is that sentence about? It's about who? Mary and Jane. Mary and Jane is our whole subject. So we have multiple people this time in our subject, right? And what do we know about Mary and Jane? They are sisters. What's our verb there? Are. Are is our verb. We've kind of, that's been a tricky thing for us as a whole class, is remembering that are is a verb or is a verb. So it may not have it may not be a specific action, but it's something that it's telling us more information about Mary and Jane and what they are. They are sisters. Okay. So on our paper, our chop line is going to go after Mary and Jane. Do you see on this side of the chop line, we have our whole subject. And on this side of the chop line, we have our verb and the rest of our predicate. So we have Mary and Jane as our subject. Our sisters is our predicate. All right, let's look at number 4. Anna played in the sand. So close your eyes. I want you to picture what you see whenever you hear Anna played in the sand. What is the subject of that sentence? Who or what is that sentence about? What do you think? So I have a couple different nouns happening here, right? Let's talk about that. I have Anna, I have sand. What is the sentence about though? Who or what is the subject, the main who or what that's happening in that sentence? It's Anna. It's Anna. We know that Anna did what? What was Anna doing? She played in the sand. So our chop line is going to go after Anna. Anna is the subject of the sentence. Okay? So Anna, we're going to underline in red. And then what did Anna do? What was the action? What was the what's happening? Anna played in the sand. So that whole thing is our predicate. Played in the sand is our whole predicate. Okay? All right, I want you to do the rest by yourself. You're just drawing that chop line. If you have a red and a blue, then you can underline in red and blue like we did at the top. Okay? And we will talk lots more about this tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.